Dear friends, in the FY Physics Paper 1, in earlier session, we have solved the questions on chapter number 1, that is, name of that chapter is motion. Second chapter in this Physics Paper 1 is work and energy. In today's discussion, we will try to solve some of the questions on this chapter number 2, that is work and energy. So let's straight away go for the questions as shown here. Question number 11. So we'll go for these questions. Question number 11 is as follows. Just a minute. Question number 11. An object of mass 100 gram is moving with a velocity of 20 centimeters per second. What is its kinetic energy? All we know right from our school days, we know expression for kinetic energy Ke is given to be 1/2 mass into velocity square. This is the expression for calculating the energy. Remember both the numbers here, this mass as well as this velocity, both these are given in CGS system, and accordingly we have to write expression, or we have to give unit to this final answer which we are going to calculate as kinetic energy. So this is given by Ke is equal to 1/2 m, mass is 100, and V square is, now this is 20 into 20. So making this calculation, I'll get 100, that means will be 50 division of this into 20 multiplied by 20. So give for this answer. Now this is 20 to 20 is 400 into 50 is now 2000. So this will be 2000 and unit 1 2 3 4, how much it is? So this is 400 into 50. So this is 50 0, 50 is to 0, 50 is to 4 is 200. Okay, so this is how one more 0 I am needed here, and that's why this answer will be here
20 into 10 raised to 3.
Yes, now options given are 1 2 3 4. So this answer should be 2.4 into 10 raised to 4, and unit is ergs. But unfortunately in the options nowhere it has been given 2 raised to 4. So C option is more correct if we have provided this to be 4 there. So actually this, in this case, this index have been not written. So 2.1 into 10 raised to, I think I will get 2 ergs. 20 into 10 raised to, if I go for this 1 ergs, or 2.5 into 10 raised to 5 ergs, like this. Out of that, option 4 will be correct option, that is 2 into 10 raised to 4 ergs. If this problem, same problem could have been asked if it is given to be 1000 or 100 kg, and this is given to be 20 meters per second. So now this is MKS, this is also MKS. I could have taken this answer again with the same formula, 1/2, again it is 100 kilograms into 20 into 20. If this answer is calculated, this will again come to be 2.4 into 10 raised to 4. Same answer, only unit here will be joules. So based upon which, so you have to very carefully see. Remember, this type of simple examples may not be asked in examination, but the same examples, by making certain change, one of the quantity will be given in CGS, one of the quantity will be given in MKS, or both the quantities will be given in MKS, or both this will be given CGS. Based upon that, you have to find unit of this particular final answer, that is kinetic energy. If someone of it, if it is given to be something like joules here, again that will not going to be correct here. So correct answer for this question number 11, as we have seen here, is 2 into 10 raised to 4 ergs, and that's how we have calculated this into this particular number, or this answer, by this simple example. So try to understand, in examination the same problem may not appear, but the changed numbers will be changed, units will be changed, one unit will be different, second unit may be different, and based upon that you have to think very carefully what is actually given and what is asked. So that type of very simple problem, calculating 1/2 mv square, will not be easily asked. So might be there is some change in units, might be there is some change in numbers, and based upon that this example may be altered or changed. Okay, now question number 12. What is the unit of energy in SI system, System International or MKS system? as we have seen. So this energy, kinetic energy or energy is given by 1/2 mv square. And if we go for this, okay, we can go for its dimensions as well as we can go for its units and all that. So this is given in joules, provided we are using this MKS or SI system. And if I using this CGS system, in this case this kinetic energy or any energy in general, again given by same expression m into v square, but this time it is given by ergs. So we have to remember very clearly that SI unit of the energy is joules, and the CGS unit of the this energy is ergs. So here correct answer is this joules. And now this watt is the unit of power. Okay, so this watt is the unit of power and Newton is the unit of force. So this is unit of the force, this is the power, and this is the ergs is the unit that is the CGS unit of energy. Okay, CGS unit of this energy, and this is the SI unit of this. Joule is the SI unit of energy. So in this question, again as I said, this particular question may be changed. What is the unit of force in SI system? The options may be same. You have to correct find this correct option, that is D option will be correct in that case. So same example, same numeric, this particular problem may be changed as per its requirement of the answer which is given in the options. So options, joule is correct for energy in SI unit. Option erg may be correct for CGS unit for energy. Watt is the option correct for power, provided we are asked the question for the power. And for the force it is a unit Newton. So this very common simple examples or simple physical quantities and their units in CGS, MKS may be asked. Sometimes you may be asked to find out its dimensions too. When you are asked to find out dimensions either for CGS or MKS system, I can go for K is equal to mass is given by m raised to 1 L raised to 0 and T raised to 0, this is mass. And here velocity is going to be m raised to 0 L raised to 1 and T raised to -1, and square of that is needed. So I have to go for this simple calculation, m raised to 1 L raised to 0 T raised to 0, and here it is m raised to 0 L raised to 2 and T raised to -2, and therefore final expression for its dimensions will be given as m raised to 1, now this is L raised to 2 and T raised to 0 and T raised to -2. So this again may be asked sometimes. So find out or which are the correct dimensions of energy in general, maybe kinetic energy, maybe potential energy, maybe total energy, or maybe any of the energy. Every energy has its dimensions to be m raised to 1 L raised to 2 and T raised to -2. So that is to be answered as given by this question. So even though this question appears to be very simple, very easy, memory based question, but one can make a twist, one can make a change in this question, and this question can be altered in number of ways as shown by this particular example. So you may be asked any of the quantity given in the option for what unit is, or you may be asked dimensions of any of these things, and you can find out dimensions as shown by this particular analysis what we have seen here. Okay, now next is question number 13. Due to application of 10 Newton's force, an object moves 10 meter along perpendicular direction of the force. What amount of work is done? Okay, now there are four options are given. A is equal to 100 ergs, B is equal to, this is option B is equal to 50 joules, C is equal to 100 joules, and D is equal to 000 joules. This is only, I could have written this to be 0 joules, but I have written 000 joules for a special purpose. And now in mechanics we know that this work is calculated when we move a certain object with a certain force, and this work is a scalar physical quantity which is given as a scalar product of these two vectors. One is force and second is the displacement, or its magnitude of work is given by simply F into S, force into displacement. But since this is a dot product, both of these vectors, this particular dot product depends upon F into S multiplied by this is into cos of theta. So depending upon the angle between these two vectors, this work done may be 0, maybe maximum, maybe negative, and like that. So in this case we have been given a information. If MK system, force is given to be 10 newtons, movement is given to be 10 meters, and the direction is given to be a perpendicular direction. That means object is moving in this direction, displacement, and force has been applied in this direction, that is equal to 10 newtons, and this displacement is given to be 10 meters. Now this particular displacement and this force, this angle in this case is 90 degrees, and therefore when we go for this calculation, W is equal to F into S multiplied by cos of 90, and we always know cos of 90 is simply equal to 0, and therefore this force or the work done in this case is simply 0 joules. So the problem, some may go for directly multiplication of this F dot S. If this multiplication is done 10 into 10, we get 100 earths, 100 joules. So this could be answer provided both of these force as well as this displacement are in the same direction. In that case, there could have been cos of 0. That means if the force had been in the same direction, then this angle would have been 0, and cos of 0 is equal to 1. Then it would have been maximum, and that would have been W is equal to 100 joules. But in the given situation, as we have been given 10 Newton force, 10 meters displacement, and they are moving, they are having direction perpendicular to each other, whatever may be the case, whatever may be the force, whatever may be the displacement, in such a case, when this force and displacement are perpendicular to each other, note that always work done is found to be 0, and therefore D is the correct option in this question number 13. Now same case, when we go for this work done on the surface of earth, that means this is the surface of earth, and if a car is moving on the surface of earth and gravity is working in this direction, earth's gravitational force, the car is moving in this direction in some displacement S. Now the work done over this car due to gravity is always found to be 0 joules or 0. There is no work done by the gravity when the car is moving on the surface of the earth. So car has not supposed to do anything to resist this gravity. Only the friction that is forced on its wheels by the road, that friction is to be overcome. Aerodynamics, that air friction is to be overcome, and that's why it requires that amount of energy. So work done over a person moving or car moving on the surface of earth due to gravity is always found to be 0. So this conceptual understanding can be taken from this example number 13, which is given by W is equal to F bar dot S bar. But since this is a scalar product of two vectors which are perpendicular to each other is always equal to 0. Hence work done in this case is also equal to 0. So that can be understood from this example number 13 as we have seen here. Now next,
सर
yes,
वेक्टर मध्ये असेल तर त्या व्हॅल्यू कशा दिल्या जातील?
कशामध्ये
वेक्टर मध्ये जर काढायचं असेल तर त्या व्हॅल्यू कशा दिल्या जातील आपल्याला?
maybe sometimes you will be given this force is given to be F is given to be 3I plus 2J minus 6K. This is the force given, and S may be given as a 3I plus J minus K. If these two are given, nothing difficult. You have to just a dot product of these two vectors. Get the 3 into 3 is 9 into I is I dot I is 1. Then 2 into 1 is plus 2, and 6 into 1 is minus 6. So getting this product, it is 11 minus 6, therefore it is simply 5 joules. So that simple it is. So if these vectors are given in component forms like F is equal to this, S is equal to this, any of these vectors I can give. In spite of giving this force in 10 newtons, I will get this force is given to be 3I plus 2J minus 6K newtons, and displacement of that object is given to be, instead of 10 meters, I'll give it to be 3I plus J minus K meters. So that vectors will be given dimensions. Accordingly, you have to get a dot product of these two vectors. Get a dot product by our usual method of getting dot product of two vectors. With a very simple way, one or two steps, we can get an answer like this. So this is how this typical example, though it appears as simple, what I said, it is more conceptual than whether you are knowing how to calculate work done if there is a force and if there is displacement. If this concept is known either this way or this way, doesn't matter, you can use both and you can get this particular answer. So getting work done is equal to F bar dot S bar, simple dot product of two vectors is to be taken. Depending upon the angle between them, this dot product varies. It may be 0, it may be negative, it may be positive, and you have to get a correct answer according to that. Okay, is it okay?
Yes sir.
Yeah. Now
yes,
14 question number 14. Formula for gravitational potential energy of mass m with a gravitational pull g and raised to height, okay, height h, okay, height h is, okay, this is not h is, this question is like this. So this is what, this is the surface of the earth surface, and
MH.
this object is there. So this is what called as gravitational potential energy, is called as energy of an object by virtue of its position. That is the simple definition, virtue of its position or configuration. This is also called as configuration. And because of that, as we know that object mass has this m, it is separated at a distance h from the surface of the earth, and the earth's gravitational pull in this case is g. Therefore product of these three, m into g multiplied by h, this is called as potential energy. So potential energy in this case is simple product of these three physical quantities: mass of the objects, earth's gravitational pull or the force, and height of this object from the surface of earth. By increasing this h, we increase the gravitational energy of that particular object or its potential energy of that object. Okay, so gravitational potential energy of mass m with gravitational pull g and is raised to height h is a very simple, that is option is C. ep or e potential is given by m into g multiplied by h. A simple, this is a scalar physical quantity. Here in this case m, g and h, all these are taken to be scalar quantity, nothing of this is a vector. So this is a scalar physical quantity, and that is to be understood from this example. So in case of earth's gravitational potential, this potential energy is calculated by a simple formula that is given by ep is equal to m into g into h. So we need not spend more time over such type questions. Now question number 15, which of the following pairs of physical quantities has the same dimensions? Now again it comes to these dimensions. So there are four options are given. First one is work, second one is energy, third one is force, option B is force and work, option C is work and power, and option D is power and force. Can anyone tell me what is the answer of this question?
Work and energy.
So you have to just go for its clarification. So how this particular comes here? Okay, work and energy. So as we have already seen, work is given by F dot S, force into displacement. So go for its dimension. Force is given by, now force is mass into acceleration. So mass L raised to 1 T raised to minus 2. This is the force, dimensions of the force. Mass into acceleration, m raised to 1 L raised to 1 T raised to minus 2. Displacement is m raised to 0 L raised to 1 T raised to 0, and therefore combine of this gives you m raised to 1 L raised to 2 this time and T raised to minus 2. Whereas for energy, just now we have calculated this 1/2 mv square. So it has again, mass has m raised to 1 L raised to 0 T raised to 0 and v square. Since it's a velocity is T raised to 1 L raised to 1 and T raised to minus 1. So making it square, I'll get m raised to 0 L raised to 2 and T raised to minus 2. Making this calculation, I'll get m raised to 1 L raised to 2 and T raised to minus 2. So note that both of these are just same, and that's why work and energy, they have same dimensions, and you find units of these are again just same, that is joules. Joule is the MKS unit used for work as well as for energy. From that also we can understand these two quantities must have, these two physical quantities must have same dimensions, which are shown by this. Now go for force and work. Force has mass into acceleration, that is given to be m raised to 1 L raised to 1 and T raised to minus 2, whereas work has m raised to 1 L raised to 2 and T raised to minus 2. So that L raised to 1 reference is there. If I go for work and power, power is a work per unit time, so that one of the T gets cancelled, so we can go for that as okay. So I got, this is for the work. For power, power is work per unit time, so this has dimensions as m raised to 1 L raised to 2 T raised to minus 2, and divide by this is m raised to 1 L raised to 0, m raised to 0 L raised to 0 and T raised to plus 1. So adjusting this there, I'll get simply m raised to 1 L raised to 2 and T raised to, now if this 1 is taken there, or what is power? Power is, I think, work into time, isn't it? energy per unit time is said to be the power. Okay, so what is the dimensions of power? 10 raised to L raised to minus 3, T raised to minus 3, is it correct? I'm doubtful about this. Okay, we'll check this later on, but this way we can calculate here. And power and force, so this particular analysis shows that this is again not correct. So this option is not correct, this option is not correct, as well as this option is also not correct. So work and energy has dimensions which are equal, as well as their unit, that is joules in MK system, that is also found to be equal. So question number 15, correct answer is this E, which is shown as work and energy. So this type of dimensional analysis we are needed to carry out for several different types of physical parameters or physical quantities, and you can go for such type of questions which are asking answers for dimensions of any of the physical quantities or formula. Now example number 16 or question number 16, according to the work energy principle, a particle of mass m, when subjected to external force, the work done during displacement by all forces is equal to dash dash change in the dash dash during displacement. So here there are four options: gravitational energy, kinetic energy, mechanical energy, and potential energy. So this is a theoretical question, and answer of this question is kinetic energy. So that is what we calculate this change in energy by 1/2 m1m into v1 square minus 1/2 m into v2 square. So this was ke at location 1 or position 1, and this is ke at location 2 or position 2. Difference between them, how much energy is gained, that is nothing but the work done in this case. So according to work energy principle, a particle of mass m, when subjected to external force, the work done during displacement by all forces, all active forces over that, is equal to change in the kinetic energy during displacement. So what is the work done because of such force over that object? It can be calculated very easily, just measuring its kinetic energy before applying this kinetic force, as well as applying after the kinetic after applying this particular force. So difference between them can be calculated in terms of kinetic energy, and therefore correct option for this question number 16 is B, that is the kinetic energy. So option C is not correct option. So what is the potential energy change? When we replace or when we oppress that particular object, or when we strain that particular object, then there is a change in potential energy. Mechanical energy is that when we press that object, or when we make some other changes, mechanical changes in that object, then it is mechanical energy. Then when we change the position of that object from one location to another location with reference to this ground or surface of the earth, then its gravitational energy changes. Otherwise, in this case, the kinetic energy, change in kinetic energy is nothing but the work done on that particular object because of that application of that force. This is the work energy principle. So try to understand this principle, which tells you whenever there is some change in the kinetic energy of an object, there must be some work done by that force applied on that particular object, and then there is a certain displacement. So this is a theoretical question, and which can be given as answer B for this question number 16. Now 17, the force is called as, this is one more very important statement or very important example, as I am saying, because in examination that requires a clear-cut knowledge what the force is called as conservative force, and what do you mean by force which is called to be a non-conservative force. So here the force is called as conservative force for which work done is independent of distance, then path, then time, and none of these. So correct option of this, correct answer is this path. Now what is this force? Now if I am in a gravitational force, okay, gravitational field in case of gravitational field, when an object is moved from position A to position B through this path, okay, A M B, and when this particular object is again drawn back, so this path, that is A and B, work done in this case moving this object from this location to this location, and work done moving this object from this location to this location with another path, that is A and B. This work done here, this is W1. If I calculate W2 in this case, I'll find in case of conservative force field, this W1 is always equal to W2, and that is how the total work done over a closed path. So sometimes we write this example is like this. So this is W, and integral over this circle like this, and this is F dot S. this is equal to 0, F dot S into ds, and this particular thing is equal to 0. So this is also a condition for the conservative force field. So the conservative force field is the force field for which work done over a closed path is equal to 0. Either I can give by 3 different ways. So it is path independent. This doesn't depend upon the path, which path we follow. It is not depend upon that. It just depends upon the end points, starting point and end point. So I am starting here, going to B, and again coming to A. So location is not changed even though I go from this to this. So total work done is always found to be 0 in this case. Hence such field is called as conservative force field. This is one way. Second, I can write this integral form. Integral, this is called as the closed integral over a closed path, integral and circle over that, F dot S into ds. If this work is calculated and if it is found to be 0, again that particular force field is called as conservative force field. So these are the 3 different ways. Either I can go for path definition, either I can go for it is just depending upon the end points only, or I can go for calculation of work done, W1 is equal to W2, or if I go for this calculation integral F dot S into ds, this will be simply W1 minus W2, and this is equal to 0, because in one case when I go for this integral, work is positive. When I go for this case, work done in this case is negative. But W1 and W2 are equal, and when they are subtracted, I will get total work done to be equal to 0. So this is the example of conservative force field. Now the field that is Coulombic field, that is field because of positive charge, that is electrostatic field because of the positive charge, negative charge, gravitational field, etc. These fields are called as conservative force field. Whereas viscous field, that this is the force field because of this friction. All these are this. There are certain time dependent field too. These fields are called as non-conservative force field. So in non-conservative force field, work done over path 1 and work done over path 2 are different. So W1 is never equal to W2. So such fields are called as non-conservative. So there are several examples of non-conservative force field too. As I said, friction force. So friction is the one such force. Friction field or friction force is one such non-conservative. Then time dependent electric and magnetic field, these are also non-conservative. So simple definition of conservative and non-conservative force field is that whether the work done over a closed path is 0 or non-zero. If it is 0, then it is conservative. If it is non-zero, then it is non-conservative. So this is again a theoretical question which we have seen in this question number 17. Now question 18. According to the principle of conservation of energy, which type of force the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy of the particles remains constant? So that is again here we are going to go for this different examples. Gravitational energy, mechanical energy, kinetic energy and potential energy. So under which type of force the sum of potential energy of a particle and kinetic energy of the particles remains constant? So can anyone give me any idea of this question? So what is the answer of this question? actually there is some printing mistake in the this particular options here are not this. Options are required to be something different. Options should be, so let's write this option. First option is conservative force. Conservative force. Options are not correct. These are not correct option. Second option is non-conservative force field. Non-conservative force. Third one is frictional force. Actually options here are not correct, and fourth one is the viscous force. Okay, viscous force. So these are the correct options. Now these options are not there. These options are incorrect. Okay, so correct options for these questions are conservative force field, non-conservative force field, frictional force field and viscous force field. So as we have already seen, all these force fields are such that there is no guarantee that every time this sum of potential energy and kinetic energy will remain same. But in case of conservative force field like gravitational field or electrostatic field produced by a positive or negative charge, in such a cases the sum of PE plus KE, that is always found to be constant, and that's why we call it as a law of conservation of energy. So law of conservation of energy is valid in the conservative force, and that's why option A would be correct as shown by this example. Okay, so this particular is another question, theoretical question, which is based upon the definition of work energy principle or the conservative force field, its definition. And remember, in the conservative force field, work done is always zero over a closed path, or the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy is always constant. So energy gets converted from potential to kinetic or kinetic to potential, and total energy always remains a constant. So take an example of any of the object or the simple harmonic oscillator or a projectile or anything. So when this particular object is raised to a certain height, its potential energy increases, kinetic decreases. When it goes from this higher position to lower position, its potential energy decreases, its kinetic energy increases. So there can be several examples which can be given as an example of this demonstration of this principle, that total energy P plus Ke always remains constant only in case of conservative force field. In case of non-conservative force field, frictional force field, viscous force field, this type of addition of energy never remains constant. That is to be understood as a theoretical problem there. Okay, now 19th question is again exactly similar to this. Question number 19. The force is called as conservative force for which work done is independent of that. Earlier we have seen this is example, here is the path dependent, or answer of this question number 19 is path. So independent, it is independent of path. Which path we follow, it is immaterial. From what are the locations, initial and final locations or the end points, based upon that this change in the energy can be calculated, or change in the that type of work can be calculated, and total work done is always path independent. That's why question number 19 B is the correct option as given here. Now question 20. So we'll go for this last question here. Question number 20. According to the principle of conservation of energy, under which type of force the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy of particles remains constant? So I think this is again repeated one. So here this is a conservative force. This is the correct answer of this question number 20. So in case of conservative force field, the conservation of energy principle is valid, or addition of kinetic plus potential is always constant. Only there is a transformation of energy from one type of energy to the second energy, but the total energy of the system always remains constant. So question number 20, correct option is again A, as we have seen here. Okay, now from this chapter I'll just go on discussing what are the important points where we should concentrate. So here in this case we should go for definition of energy. What do you mean by energy is? Okay, these are the important points. Energy is nothing but capacity to do some work. Okay, that is called as energy. Types of energy are potential and kinetic. Both of these types we know. Expressions for that is also known. So expression for potential energy is given by mgh, provided we are working in this gravitational field. In case of kinetic energy, it is 1/2 m into v square. This is applicable for all types of field. Then work done is given by this simple expression. Work done is a scalar quantity which is obtained by taking scalar product of two vectors f bar dot ds, or sometimes we calculate it by f into ds multiplied by cos theta. So this expression is used as expression to be calculated work done. Its units, its dimensions, etc. also important from the examination point of view. Then there is a work energy theorem. Okay, that's what we have seen. Several examples we have seen. That work energy theorem states that work done by a force acting on a body is equal to the change in its kinetic energy. Mathematically, the theorem may be expressed as W is equal to Kf minus Ki, where Kf is the final kinetic energy and Ki is the initial kinetic energy. Difference between them is the work done in this particular case. Then most important from this chapter, as I said earlier, that is the definitions of conservative force field and non-conservative force field. Examples of conservative force field, examples of non-conservative force field. The mathematical conditions which we write either in terms of this integral, closed integral over a circle or over a closed path, that type of integral, or sometimes we are asked definitions of conservative and non-conservative force field in terms of the work done. Sometimes we are asked which is path dependent, which is path independent. So conservative force field, the work done is path independent, whereas in non-conservative force field, work done is path dependent. So over a different path, different types of work is done. So that is the speciality of the non-conservative force field. So there are basic definitions, there are mathematical expressions, the formulas, etc., and examples. These are the important points that are to be understood, or that are to be remembered while answering questions over this conservative force field. So take sure, in the examination, in internal as well as external examination, you are going to be asked certain questions over this conservative force field, its definitions, its examples, its characteristics, etc., etc. So that is the things one should concentrate all the time on this particular type of conservative force field. Then there is some mechanical energy, the potential energy, gravitational energy, and all these type of energies that has to be understood. So very simple principles of work and energy can be taken in case of this particular chapter number 2 from the physics paper 1. Okay, so these are the important questions and important MCQs that we have discussed here. In this small one line answer questions, there are several questions given. Work is a form of energy. We have to express work is the form of energy. Yes, it is, work is one of the form of energy. The work done is by conservative forces depend upon the path. Okay, so whether it's correct or true or false. So in the conservative force field, work doesn't depend upon the path, so the statement is the false statement. Third is the units of work would be equivalent to newtons times a meter. So that is what we have to calculate, again using F into S, F dot S. So use that particular expression to find out energy, units of work and newtons times per meter, whether it is correct or false. That also can be seen here. So this particular third statement is actually the false, true statement. We can go for this calculation and we can show here. A body is moving to the right, a force acts leftward upon it. This force is doing a negative work. Yes, the statement in this case is now a true false statement, because in this case work done is a different direction, displacement is in the different direction, force in the different direction, and therefore work done is not same. So such type of similar questions in this unsolved section you have to look. So there are several short answer questions too. Go for answers of these short answers questions too. May there be some chance that some of the MCQs may be asked based upon that short answers questions too. There are several short answer questions, 16 questions are there. Try to solve all these questions. You will get a clear-cut idea of what will be asked in this chapter in the MCQs or in the short answer questions and so on. So here we have finished this chapter number 2 again. So in the next session or the next lecture, not tomorrow or day after, we will go for the remaining chapter, that is the fluid mechanics. So thank you for the kind cooperation.